Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Mark Berger.
And I'm Megan Ruger-Smith. Let's take a look at the news.
On March 10th, just before spring break, ACBU held one last event before everyone went on vacation. With local drag queens Miss Flo and Ashlyn Rose on campus, it was the kind of show you had to see to believe. Matthew Svoboda has more.
With a menu full of mocktails and ready-made drinks at the counter, chaotic karaoke, and tantalizing trivia, the night was full of laughter as Miss Flo and Ashlyn Rose encouraged students to let go and perform on stage, creating an atmosphere that welcomed and accepted all. The dynamic duo had to begin somewhere, though, and it didn't take anything out of the ordinary, just being honest with themselves.
It started as a theater joke thing, they needed a cameo appearance on stage, so they'd put me in an old lady costume and move it forward that way, kill time on stage. And then I moved to Florida for a year and discovered Flo and my inner self, and took her, and just here I am today.
I think it all started with, watching my sister do her makeup, and, we would make up dances in our basement to Katy Perry songs, Kesha songs, and it evolved into this. I found drag queens, found Drag Race, and was like, I think this is something I want to do, and here we are now.
As generations of drag queens and kings continue to come and go, some may find it hard to get their footing and get started. But Miss Flo and Ashlyn Rose have some strong advice for beginners, and it comes as no surprise that the key is confidence.
It's all about having fun. So if you're wanting to show this inner side of you, don't be afraid to do it. Yeah, you can start in your bedroom, you can start in the mirror and start like that, but make sure you can go out in the public like that. Show who you are, show your true self. Don't hide yourself away from anything. Have confidence and be cocky as hell and just go out and do it.
I think for me, once I was able to accept myself for who I was and actually show my true side, that's when you realize they love you no matter what, and they would rather see you happy than hide in a room. They want to see you on stage doing what you love rather than doing it in a basement or behind the shadows or where no one can see it or support it.
Ms. Flo is a co-owner of Dragon Paint here in Peoria, where she acts alongside artist Megan Corey as event-goers create their own masterpieces set to a glamorous performance. You can find Miss Flo on Instagram at Miss Flo No Mo and Ashlyn Rose on Facebook as Jared McLean or on Instagram at Ashlyn Rose. For BUTV News, I'm Matthew Svoboda.
On Monday, March 21st, Bradley's Biological Honor Society Tri Beta hosted guest speaker Dr. Stephen Giuliano to talk about his work. Dr. Giuliano's work focuses on mosquito control. He is a professor at Illinois State who teaches in the School of Biological Sciences. At the event, Dr. Giuliano spoke about his work and the work of his students, featuring container-dwelling mosquitoes. He has traveled internationally to study mosquitoes to sites such as Rio de Janeiro. Tyler McMahon, Tri Beta's vice president, spoke about Dr. Giuliano's presentation and the prevalence of mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes are a big prevalent issue when it comes to diseases and food chain and everything like that. And today he gave a presentation on how our pest control and our different ways of controlling the populations of mosquitoes can affect the ecology and the community of mosquitoes.
Tri Beta Honor Society is open to junior and senior biology majors at Bradley. You can follow their Instagram at TriBeta_Bradley to keep up with their events.
ASHRAE, the Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers, hold their monthly meetings here on campus. Reporter David Blank can tell us more. The meetings are held in the Business and Engineering Convergence Center, where a panel of industry professionals answer questions about the industry, its many careers, and even working in the ever-changing and growing market. The meeting is designed to engage and connect Central Illinois HVAC professionals and to grow business connections. Many of the people in attendance are Bradley alumni wishing to share insight and connect with current Bradley students.
That's correct, yeah. Students are invited to every meeting. We encourage it. Students are free. We host our meetings in Bloomington. It's at Alexander Steakhouse, so we get a pretty good meal out of it. We try to change this topic every month, keep it not just focused on one portion of our field, but try to hit different parts of it as we go through.
Interested students or professionals looking to find industry connections can learn more about upcoming events by visiting their website, ciashray.org.
Political science students here at Bradley University have organized a new experiential learning opportunity. BUTV's Maggie Goff has the full story.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly is the first alumni in Bradley history to become a governor of a state. Governor Kelly visited Bradley last fall and sat down for a talk with a group of Bradley students.
Both the students and I were very impressed with her, so that we kind of came up with the idea of wouldn't it be neat to take a group of students to Kansas the week of her re-election campaign and turn it into a really neat experiential learning opportunity for Bradley students.
Brad McMillan, Executive Director of the Institute of Principled Leadership and Public Service, has big plans for what this field trip will entail.
We're going to do grassroots campaigning. We're going to go door to door. We're going to do phone banking. We're going to do all other kinds of campaign-related activities. But we're also going to do some other neat things. We're going to go to the Bob Dole Institute of Politics at the University of Kansas. We're going to take a tour of the Kansas State Capitol, and Governor Kelly has graciously offered to throw us a reception at the governor's mansion.
There is a small application process for those who apply, but you'll need to act fast. The trip leaves in November and there's only a dozen spots available.
So just contact me, Brad McMillan. Would love to talk with any Bradley students that might be interested. We're capping the number of students at 12, so please contact me if you're interested.
If you're interested in applying for the opportunity to help Governor Kelly, you can email Brad McMillan at bmcmillan@bradley.edu. For BUTV News, I'm Maggie Goff.
Sports anchor Nolan Bullman spoke to Bradley students to find out what they did over spring break and to hear about how they're feeling about the rest of the semester.
As Bradley students return from spring break, we catch up with them in the Student Center to see what they did during their time off and what they're looking forward to for the rest of the semester. What can you tell me that you did over spring break?
Okay, so can I hold this, Nolan?
I mean, nothing crazy. Just went home, saw family, reconnected with some friends, just hanging out. Got a chance to sleep, which was nice.
By all means.
Okay,
By all means.
So what did I do this spring break?
Went home, saw my family, and I was able to go to and from Chicago, so that was pretty fun.
I got sick. I did get sick. I caught the cold. I think it's going around, so watch out. Everyone stay safe. But I also did go to St. Patty's Parade up in Chicago.
My family lives in Virginia, so we went back home, and in Virginia, well, at least when I left here, it was snowing. So Virginia was like visiting Florida, essentially, because it was up in the 70s, 80s like that. But it was nice.
Now that you got everything out of the way for spring break, is there anything in particular you might be looking forward to the rest of the way this semester?
I mean, is it cheating to say graduation? Because I think I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Not at all.
So definitely just trying to finish out the semester strong.
Luckily, all my classes are kind of lightening up, which, I know not everyone can say that, but I can. So just should be a nice, easy run in the classroom to the end.
I'm also running for positions in my fraternity as well.
Whether it was by traveling or staying home, it's safe to say that Bradley students enjoyed their break and are looking forward to ending their semester strong. With BUTV, I'm Nolan Bullman.
In just a little bit, Jake is here to tell us if the rain will ever end.
And later, all the entertainment updates you need to know with Alec.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
More rain is on the way, along with cooler temps. I'm Jake Buds, and let's take a look at the weather on campus and our maps. Now, currently on campus, it is raining outside. Nothing too special. As you can see with the forecast, currently we have a storm system that's kind of sitting on us. Nothing more to expect. But going over to our forecast map, as I said, as the system proceeds to roll through, we can expect rain throughout tonight into early tomorrow morning, and plenty more from there. As you can see, the system is kind of staying in this general position for now. It's going to sit here for a while until this cold front proceeds to push through, and then we should be good for the rest of the day. Now expect west winds around 10 miles per hour, gusts as high as 17 miles per hour. Now moving on to our temp map, here in Peoria we are sitting at a comfortable 47 degrees, not comfortable at all. Now as the night falls, we will begin to see a temp drop into later this week that will plateau in the low 40s. Although the temp is dropping, we are sure to see a rise in temp early next week. Now on to our 5-day forecast. This week's high of 58 was seen this afternoon and will sadly drop from there. The low of the week will be seen Saturday night at 26 degrees and will possibly bring some frost Sunday morning as well. Now, other than today and portions of tomorrow, we can expect to see clear skies with some potentially cloudy conditions as this week pushes forward. Tonight's storms rolling through are not considered severe, although the only potential threat we could see are going to be patches of heavy downpours. Now over to your entertainment news with Alec Brandt.
During spring break, I just bought Disney Plus and decided to pop back, grab a soda, and watch one of their new movies. The movie I decided to watch was Turning Red. Turning Red is a Disney Pixar movie that came out March 11th this year. The movie is about a 13-year-old Chinese-Canadian girl, Mei-Lin Lee, who has the ability to change into a giant red panda whenever she feels strong emotions. And she tries to balance this with living her teenage life. Now, when I first saw the trailers for this movie, I was kind of judgmental. But actually watching it myself, it turned out to be pretty good. The movie had great animation, voice acting, and it was an all-around good experience. This was one of Pixar's mainly women-led films, which I feel sets a good trend for the animation industry. Now, go watch the movie on Disney+. I guess going with the trend of girls with superpowers, our next story is about a new Marvel TV series, Ms. Marvel. This series stars Kamala Khan, a high school girl who gains the power to stretch and grow her limbs at will. And being a fan of the Avengers, she decides to use her powers to beat up bad guys and become a superhero. We don't necessarily know what the plot is going to be. Who's going to be the big evil bad guy? I guess we'll both find out soon enough if you decide to watch, once it comes out June 8th this year. So, Jake, how was your spring break?
Pretty uneventful, Alec. I basically worked and slept. What about yourself, other than watching Disney Plus movies?
Same here. I saw a UFO, but that's nothing newsworthy.
Yeah, nothing newsworthy. Now, coming up, an interview with Bradley's speech team president as they prepare for nationals.
And soon to come, an excited look inside the Hollywood semester program.
I've been having a lot of fun just bonding with our team.
What's really exciting me about Fuse this year is, one, just being able to get to do it, but also being able to kind of get out in the community more.
I feel like Fuse is just really a lot of effort and time into making something that you can be really proud of.
Fuses to me is like this, just the time the department gets to all come together, the IM department, and just create stuff together.
I've seen all the images, I've seen people collaborating, laughing, having fun together, and I want to be able to do that with my team, and not only my team, but my users as well.
This is our unique showcase of interactive experiences. The culmination of a year of collaborative effort by the Interactive Media Department, where we partner with the Peoria Riverfront Museum to bring our passions to life. Game, animation, user experience, and art students of all different backgrounds work together to put on the experience of the year. This is our chance to show you what we can do. This is innovation in the making. This is Fuse. We can't wait to see you there.
The Bradley University speech team begins their national season this week.
The team recently brought home the overall sweeps championship for the second year. Now Olivia Clausen is live from New Miller Hall to tell us more.
The Bradley University speech team is the most decorated team here on campus. Here with me at New Miller Hall is the president of the team, Lily Piper, to tell us more about her team and the events that they have coming up. Lily, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. First question, what does the Bradley speech team do? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we compete nearly every single weekend throughout the school year mainly. We do traditional speeches, like what you would think you would stand up in a classroom. And then we also do some events that are more based in current events and politics, and also some events that kind of mirror theater. So a lot of our work is mainly rooted in advocacy and advocacy performance. So it's a lot of fun. I love competing in it.
So what type of things do you typically perform?
Yeah, so one of my favorite events is extemporaneous speaking. So we would get a political-based question. You have 30 minutes to prepare, and then you give a 7-minute long speech answering that question. And it has to be completely memorized, no script in front of you. So it's very challenging, but really fun.
That does sound very fun. How has your team gotten ready for this year's national season?
Yeah, we typically start our preparation in June. So yeah, it's a long process, but we have a lot of amazing coaches that help us research for our speeches, also help coach us for our different events. We also have a great alumni network here at Bradley that are able to kind of help us and coach us along the way as well.
Since the team is hosting an event tomorrow night, what can the students expect to see?
Yeah, so it's going to be great. We have a 7:30 show and also a 9 p.m. show. So in that show, the 7:30 is more of a PG showing. The 9 o'clock is more of an R-rated showing. But yeah, they're pretty great. Yeah, we just kind of perform events that we're going to be showcasing at nationals.
What's the importance of the event tomorrow night for your team?
Yeah, it's really great to kind of just give us a platform to be able to perform in front of an audience and a larger audience as we're coming up into nationals, because that's really where we start to see some of our biggest crowds.
What are you hoping to have the outcome be after nationals?
I'm just excited to kind of get to reconnect with the circuit again after about 2 years of not being able to see other people and other teams in person. So really just hoping to have more connection.
Well, thank you so much. That is all the time that we have. Thank you, Lily, again for joining us. Just a reminder, the event will be here tomorrow night. We have showings at 7:30 and again at 9 p.m. For any other information, you can check out the Bradley Speech Team's Instagram at Bradley Speech. Live at Miller Hall, I'm Olivia Clausen.
Thanks for that interview, Olivia. The Visual Voices lecture series continued on March 10th with Boston-based artist Caleb Cole. David Blank was there reporting for BUTV.
As part of the ongoing Visual Voices series hosted by Bradley, guest speaker Caleb Cole came to speak on campus about his experiences with photography and the process and struggle of creating art.
Some artist talks end up feeling like these projects come out of thin air. Suddenly they had this idea and they made this thing, and then they had this idea and they made this thing. And I'm really interested in starting to connect the dots for how did things come about.
While Caleb specializes in photography, he has learned to experiment. Some of his art having to do with self and how we perceive our own bodies.
About what does it mean to identify with something? What does it mean to see something that you identify with? And then thinking about my own body, thinking about transness.
Caleb also engages with his own personal connections to queer and gay history and how that influences his art today.
Myself as someone who identifies as queer, and thinking about where do I fit, where do I belong, and also just thinking about longer lineages and histories that maybe aren't the sort of histories that we're used to as far as family histories. What is sort of maybe a different history, and how do we make sense of the ways queerness has changed across time, and like who are we to one another maybe across time.
If you wish to learn more about Caleb or see more of his art, you can visit his website calebxcole.com or visit his Instagram page at calebxcole. For BUTV News, I'm David Blank.
One of the coolest things that students can do at Bradley is participate in the Hollywood semester, an immersive experience where students live, take courses, and work in Hollywood for an entire semester. Veteran BUTV News participants Robin Batzel and Cassie Navarro show us a bit of their experience in LA this semester.
Every semester, Bradley University gives students the chance to come to California to study on the Hollywood semester. Students are able to take classes dealing with the entertainment industry and also work on internships.
I just finished my internship for the day and I'm walking home. I'm fortunate to have an internship that's within walking distance, so I don't have to deal with the LA traffic. My internship is with Motion Picture Exchange, which deals with film distribution and sales. So primarily my day consists of watching movies or looking up cast members from these movies. So it's really fun.
Just like the students' majors, internships can range from game design to music production to film and TV.
Sometimes it can be a little stressful being in California with our internships and classes. So as a stress reliever, we like to come to Universal Studios.
With Universal being a 15-minute ride from the apartments, many students find themselves there on a weekly basis. They can ride rides from Harry Potter, Jurassic World, and many other films.
So not only does Universal have great rides, but it also has some of the greatest views in the city. Take a look.
Amusement parks aren't the only means of escape in Los Angeles. Students can see the Hollywood Walk of Fame, shop, go to movie premieres, and even find a new place to hike.
So besides going to Universal, some of us like to spend our time hiking. Currently, I'm on a path at Griffith Park that leads to an old zoo, so let's go check it out.
To gain credit hours under the LA Experience tag, students are taking on a new trip every week. The first trip for this semester was on a hike to Runyon Canyon, where some students passed by Kevin Smith.
The best part about being in LA is things are continuously spontaneous.
Like today, we got news that John Stamos was filming right outside the complex.
While every day here in LA is unique, every Bradley Hollywood semester experience is the same. If you are interested in coming your junior or senior year, get in touch with your career advisor in the Smith Career Center. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Up next, Nolan tells us what happened in sports over spring break.
And stick around to hear some campus events you won't want to miss.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on... Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to BUTV. I'm Nolan Bullman, and here are your sports. While everyone else here at Bradley took time off and underwent their spring break, Bradley Athletics continued their grind. But before we recap any action, a surprising announcement was made yesterday as women's basketball coach Andrea Gorski is officially retiring. At just 51 years old, Gorski recently concluded her 6th season as Bradley's head coach. Throughout her tenure, Gorski helped bring Bradley their only Missouri Valley Conference championship last year and only consecutive 20-win seasons in 2019 and 2020. Not only was Gorski a Bradley Athletics Hall of Fame basketball player, but she came back to coach arguably the program's most successful period to date. It's safe to say that her contributions towards women's basketball were undeniable, and we all congratulate and thank her for an astonishing career. Now, beginning our sports recap from the previous 2 weeks is with the tennis team, as they have swept the weekly conference awards yet again and have now won their conference-leading 6th and 7th weekly honors. This time, junior Bojano Loiper earned Singles Player of the Week honors, while Loiper and fellow junior Nikki Perlowitz earned Doubles Team of the Week honors. Over break, the team split their 4 matches as they defeated Merrimack and North Dakota while losing to Navy and Murray State. Next up will be a quick trip to Normal to take on Illinois State as the Braves will try to knock down their arch rivals this Sunday at 1 p.m. With softball, freshman Addie Welsh earned Missouri Valley Conference Newcomer of the Week honors. Welsh put on a show at the Bruin Classic by hitting 6 for 10, which included the first 2 home runs of her career. The Braves will split their 4-game series with the Bruin Classic by defeating Akron twice and losing to North Alabama and Belmont. Afterward, the team would go 1-2 in their 3-game interconference series against Loyola, and next up for the Braves will be another 3-game interconference series, this time against Indiana State, starting this Saturday at 11 a.m. Baseball can certainly make the case for having the busiest schedule by playing through 7 games over break. They would win games against Dartmouth and South Florida while losing 2 other games to South Florida, 1 other game to Dartmouth, and once to Fairfield and Central Connecticut as well, escaping with a 2-5 record during that stretch. The Braves now have their sights set on a 3-game series against Tennessee Tech starting this Friday at 6 p.m. Well, that is all for sports. Coming up, some updates on events happening around campus. I'm Nolan Bullman. Go Braves!
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Oh,
Is it good?
God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
It's time to check out what events are coming up on campus. Wags for Mags is hosting a Puppies Got Talent fundraiser on Monday, March 28th at 7:30 p.m. You can pre-order tickets for $4 or buy them at the door. This first ever event will be held in New Miller Hall.
Not only do puppies have talent, so do Bradley students. ACBU is also hosting their annual talent show, Bradley's Got Talent, on March 26th. This show is also being held in New Miller Hall from 3 to 5 p.m. Come out and watch students showcase their abilities to see who wins the $200 prize.
Well, that's all we've got for you tonight on BUTV News. From all of us here, I'm Mark Berger.
And I'm Megan Ruger-Smith. We leave you tonight with a performance from Buddy, You Died. Have a great night.
When I called you, there was not a cloud in the sky. My words were slurred, 'cause I hadn't seen you since late